Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living Bellingham. I'm Dr. Andrea Asebedo, the senior minister, and I'm grateful today to be installing my assistant minister, Reverend Zena Kacha. So we're very, very happy to have that happening today, and it's a special service. But let's start off, as we always do, with some wonderful music from our band.
Well, if you're in-house today with us to celebrate, why don't you stand and sing? We've picked a nice sing-along today. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, everywhere I go. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Oh yeah, everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Let it shine all of my life, all of my life. I'm gonna let it shine all of my life. I'm gonna let it shine all of my life. I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. This little light, let's sing it out. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, 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 let it shine. Let it shine one more time. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Well, good morning. It is sunshiny here in Bellingham. If you're out on social media, let us know where you're from. And if you're here today, say hello to a neighbor. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome here. Clap, clap. My soul is welcome here. 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 My soul is welcome here.
Good morning. My name is Kat. I'll be your practitioner for today. Please join me in an opening prayer. Please join me in knowing that there is only one divine power, a power of love, a power of joy, a power of peace. And that divine power, that love, that bright, shining, joyful presence is here, now, always, emanating through this entire building, through each of ourselves, through this entire world. It is always here, always present. It is that power which we are born out of. We are the divine love, the divine light, and the divine joy in this world. And together, as one light, as one community, as one world, we raise this entire world higher, to a higher level of love and peace and joy. And as we go through our day today, as we listen to this wonderful message, as we enjoy this blessing of a new minister to our congregation, we know that this is a presence of love lighting the world through us and through our presence here. And we say thank you. Thank you, Spirit, for that presence and that love that is who we are and who we are in this world. And we release these words into the law, and so it is.
Thank you, Kat. So I wanted to welcome you again, and those of you joining us on live stream. Today really is a very special day, and we have some special guests. And the first of those is Reverend Kevin Busey, who is another brother I have yet to meet, but he and I share a deep love of the teachings of the Science of Mind and this woman who's about to be installed as our assistant minister. So he has brought a few remarks, and then we have the pleasure of having one of the soloists from his center singing a special song for Zena.
Good morning, CSL Bellingham. Greetings from San Diego, California. I'm Reverend Kevin Busey, and I'm the senior minister at Universal Spirit Center, the community that Reverend Zena used to call her spiritual home. I'm really excited today to be a part of this sacred ceremony. I have known Zena for probably close to 30 years. We both met each other when we were about 10 and a half. I've played many different roles in Zena's life, from practitioner to instructor to minister to friend, and I'm really glad to be with you here. So this is a sacred ceremony that you're participating in, that you're creating today. It's sacred because you have called forth a new minister to serve you. And Reverend Zena has called forth a new community to serve. And so both of these events mark the ever-growing consciousness of your community and of Reverend Zena. And that is ultimately what we celebrate today, is your evolving, growing consciousness. Well, so let me share with you a little bit about what I know about Reverend Zena. Having known her for 30 years, I know that she is a woman of high integrity, that no matter the difficulty or the struggle that she finds herself in, she always rises up in the highest of integrity. And I'm very inspired by that about her. The other thing I know about Zena is soon after I met her some 30 years ago, I saw in her and I felt and I witnessed this day, this call to ministry. And the third thing that inspires me the most about your new minister, Reverend Zena, is her deep and passionate love for God. For almost 3 decades, I've heard her talk about this, I've heard her surrender to it, and I've witnessed her live it. So CSL Bellingham, you called yourself forth a really outstanding minister. And Zena, I want to say a couple things to you. I want to say that as I told your community, I've always seen this call of ministry in you, and hundreds of times I've seen you surrender to, say yes to this call. I always knew that this day would come, that you would stand before a community and become their minister. I want to thank you for your friendship with me for over 30 years, almost 30 years. I want to thank you for the service that you have given Universal Spirit Center. And I want to acknowledge your call and your service to CSL Bellingham. So Dr. Andrea, Reverend Zena, and CSL Bellingham, today I acknowledge you, I celebrate you, and I bless you in this sacred ceremony. Namaste.
Reverend Zena, when you believe within your heart, you'll know that nothing can change the path you choose to go. Believe in what you feel and know it's right, because the time will come when you'll say it's mine. Believe you can float on there. Believe you can make time stand still, and know from the moment you start to believe, the magic in your heart. Oh, believe in yourself right from the start. Believe all that magic inside your heart. Believe all these things because you know it's true. God believes in you. Believe you're at the right place and the right time. Believe you can do anything. And know from the moment you are inspired to believe the dream in your heart. Oh, believe in yourself right from the start. Believe all the magic inside your heart. Believe all these things because we know it's true. Just believe in yourself. When you believe in yourself, believe in yourself as God believes. God believes in you. Congratulations from your family at Universal Spirit Center. We love you. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Linda Ely on piano. Amazing. We love you.
Now I even appreciate you being here more. Our next guest is someone I don't know if she knows that she's been my idol for many, many years, actually. She was the spiritual leader for United Centers for Spiritual Living, and I was a senior minister in International Centers for Spiritual Living when the two organizations decided to come together. That, as you might imagine, that wasn't exactly seamless. I think it took 7 years, and through that time, this impatient one was like, could we, come on, I'm one of those people that you rip the Band-Aid off. You don't peel it off hair by hair. But Reverend Dr. Kathy Hearn was the epitome of patience and grace and love in action. Zena and Patty have both had the great fortune to study with her, and she is currently serving as the Dean of the Holmes Institute San Diego campus, and she's here to say a few words.
Good morning, everybody. I am so delighted to see you and be with you. Actually, you're seeing me, I'm not seeing you, but to be with you. And Dr. Andrea, thank you for your kind words. You've been my role model as well. And so it's wonderful to join with everybody today and to have this opportunity to share about our beloved Reverend Zena and to celebrate her formal joining with Dr. Andrea to love and serve this beautiful community, CSL Bellingham. So I have known Zena and Patty for a very long time, those same 30 years that Reverend Kevin mentioned, from their beginning at Pacific Church of Religious Science, where I was senior minister, through some intervening years, their time at Universal Spirit Center, and most powerfully and consistently since Zena has been or was in ministerial training. So what has always impressed me about Zena is her exuberance, her kindness, her ability to go deep, to deeply encounter people. You know how she looks in your eyes and you can feel heart to heart with her. To deeply encounter people and things, her drive to learn and grow, and most of all, her love of science of mind. Through all the years, she has been an absolutely excellent student. She never really missed a beat. She was focused, timely, communicative, earnest, and most of all, fully embodying the awakenings that science of mind and other spiritual study have worked through her. So to this day, she is a deep thinker. She articulates the principles of science of mind powerfully, but also in a very unique way. She says things I've never heard said exactly that way before. And my sense of Zena is that when people hear her, doors of awareness open, because she so uniquely speaks and embodies her own realizations. I want to take a moment to commend Zena for all of the deep personal work that she has done, which was not easy, and she did a huge chunk of it right in the middle of ministerial training, no less. And I'll say again, she didn't miss a beat. There is a core principle that we teach as ministers, a core principle of science of mind. And it is that at the center of our being, there is a divine wholeness that is unalterable, that has never been hurt, harmed, or touched by anything and never can be. And it is this realization that we share as ministers that call people to their own healing. And there's something that I share with ministerial students that Zena has heard many times before, and that is we ministers cannot take anybody where we ourselves have not been. We cannot really lead somebody to the deepest realization if we have not had that experience ourselves. We can say, walk this way, or I hear it's really wonderful if you go down that path. But to really guide someone into a deeper knowing of the truth of their own wholeness, we have to have done that work ourselves. And so what I want you to know about Reverend Zena is that she has done the work. She has done the work to know and to celebrate and to live the deep truth of who she is as a spiritual being and of her unalterable wholeness. And that means that she stands in the world as what I like to call a reliable context of spiritual truth. And because she does that, she can stand with and for every member of CSL Bellingham as they do that work for themselves. Zena can say, walk this way. Because I have done it, you can do it as well. So this installation ceremony honors something that is often called the mystical marriage. And Reverend Kevin spoke to it a bit too. And it is that mystery of how across time and space and through all the shifts and changes in the life of a community and in the life of an individual minister, a minister and a community are irresistibly brought together to create what they're about to co-create. And so I am so thrilled to be part of this celebration today. I acknowledge all the good that has been in Zena's life, in Patty's life, in Dr. Andrea's life, in the life of CSL Bellingham. I honor all the good of this moment today, this really special, precious moment. And I celebrate the even greater good that is coming as Dr. Andrea and Reverend Zena and all the community members join together in a new and expanded experience of love and joy and wholeness. Thank you so much for having me be with you today.
I hope you're taking this in. It's a little hard to do. Well, we're going to begin the official ceremony part of this installation, and so I'm going to ask our emeritus minister, the founder, co-founder of this very center, the Reverend Colleen McGilchrist, to come up. Give her a hand, everybody. And I'm going to ask the Reverend Zena Kacha to come up as well. Why don't you two come over this way and come on up so they can see you. We all happen to be short. It's a good thing. Yeah, by what, an inch? So this is going to sound like I'm reading, and that's because I am. It has been a while since we've gotten to do this, but what I want to say is this is a mystical marriage of a different sort. And so it's my delightful duty to present to the Board of Trustees and this community Reverend Zena Kacha to be duly installed as the official assistant minister of our center. So, Reverend Zena, do you so consecrate yourself to the ministry that you will do your utmost at all times to reflect the deep inner truth within in all that you think, say, and do? Do you so dedicate yourself that you will constantly be aware of the spirit within all people and that you will see only the perfect spiritual person, perfect in mind, body, and in spirit? Do you promise to faithfully and lovingly commit to the people here at our center? May the infinite spirit which empowers you to do these things grace you with the strength faithfully to perform the same and to live the vision of this center and the vision of the centers for spiritual living. And now I'd like to invite any of you who are members of the Board of Trustees, either here present in person or on our live stream, would you please stand? I have something for you. I didn't tell him. Do you accept Reverend Zena Kacha as your assistant minister and a teacher for our center? If you do, say, I do. With joy. Yeah, with joy. Thank you. You may be seated. And would any ministers who are here present in the room, practitioners, yeah, almost, some of them. Any practitioners here in the room, practitioner students, and any who are joining us on live stream, wherever you are, please stand. Your minister knows and understands the role of the licensed practitioner as part of the ecclesiastical team, establishing and maintaining a continual consciousness of the vision for our center. You also carry out most of your work in the great and powerful silence. The fruits of this work are manifested as demonstration in the lives of yourselves, your clients, and our beloved center, for which I thank you. Do you consecrate yourself to the spiritual vision of our center and activity? Do you accept Reverend Zena Kacha as your assistant minister and a teacher for our center? Thank you. You may be seated. And now, any of you who are community members, whether here present or on live stream, would you please stand? It's a way to get the blood flowing. Dear members, you are the voice of our center. You are the ambassadors of the Center for Spiritual Living Bellingham to our larger community. And so I ask, do you promise to uphold and practice the principles of the Center for Spiritual Living moment by moment? Yes. Do you promise to accept Reverend Zena as your minister and teacher? Yes. Thank you. You may be seated. So, Reverend Zena, by the power and authority vested in me by the Centers for Spiritual Living, Golden, Colorado, I do hereby install you. And I would like to invite your wife, Patty Rosbrook, to come forward. As many of you may have appreciated, being the spouse of a minister is a unique call and often not a looked-for one. And so we will be blessing Patty as well as Reverend Zena, I know, by anointing them both. Today, and I just want to say what a precious jewel of a couple to join us in our community with such enthusiasm and vision. So, I do now install you as the assistant minister. As Patty places the stole upon you, you receive all rights, privileges, and obligations pertaining to your office. And now, Colleen, come up here, and can I have your one of your hands? We're going to anoint them both. I know your light is going to shine so brightly, both of you. So in that knowledge, may the light of the indwelling presence always shine forth from those beautiful eyes of yours, Patty. And may the light of Spirit speak through you, teach through you, and know the highest through you.
And I welcome you to this congregation from the very beginning till now and forever. We are so blessed to have you. And I know that you will add such depth, such love, such integrity, every good thing to the center of this teaching. And Patty, I'm so thrilled that Zena has a partner, a wonderful partner like Andrea and I do.
Yeah.
On this journey. You will make such a difference and truly be, not to demean you, but the wind beneath her wings. I know you are. I know you always will. And bless you and thank you for the wonderful gifts that you bring. You're almost a new practitioner, and you will be.
Yeah.
And we are blessed to have you. So,
Thank you. So Reverend Colleen and Patty, I can invite you to go back down and have a seat. The Reverend Zena Kacha. So good. So we are going to be doing a joint talk because we are in a mystical marriage. We are collaborating on the theme of spiritual collaboration. And I'm going to have Reverend Zena go first because I'm older.
Not in spirit.
Not in spirit. I just get to say it.
Check, check. Yes, thank you. Okay. Wow.
Wow.
Okay, I'm going to try not to cry. Wow. Just from my heart, I want to express the joy that I feel right at this moment to be here at this time with this community, to have people who have touched my life come forward and share. It's hard because we never see ourselves the way the people that love us see us, right? So I'm a little in awe. Like, I feel like I need to find a mirror and look at it for a minute and be like, okay, yes, that's you. But I'm honored, truly honored to be here. So this is Andrea and mine vision come true.
Yes,
It's absolutely vision come true.
it is.
We started our mentorship relationship going on 2 years ago. And it was a scheduled monthly meeting in which we did very little planning, but a lot of fun. We prayed.
We prayed.
We asked Spirit what its highest call was for this blossoming friendship, relationship, and collaborative exchange. Partnership sounds good to me.
Yeah.
And here I am. And I know that this community has been envisioning for a long time to bring someone like us forward. And so I'm so grateful for that. I'm so grateful to my wife. I love you dearly. And thank you so much for being here every step of the way. And hello to everybody. I know a lot of our community members aren't able to be here today, but next week we're going to have another grand opening. Don't worry, we won't be doing this again for you, but we do miss you and cannot wait to reconvene. And that's part of collaboration. None of this can happen without all of us. And so I want to kind of talk to you about this idea of our annual theme, which Dr. Andrea has brought forward for all of 2022, and it's about being grounded in spirit. And how often do we forget that when we're cruising around and trying to figure out the conditions of our life. So I'd like to ask you right now, just for a moment, to just close your eyes. Just close your eyes. And imagine that you have an extension cord from yourself right into the interior workings of your heart. And allow yourself just for a moment to be grounded in spirit. And from that place, open your eyes and see the co-grounding that's going on. The morning routine of prayer, reading the traditional and non-traditional spiritual gems of the world. The collaboration of bringing together the music here today, the environment here today, our sound team today. All of this is spiritual collaboration. And I'm so honored to be a part of that. I also want to remind us in being grounded in spirit that March, which is this month, can't believe it's 3 months into the year already, is all about the practices. Because what I can tell you about vision is that the vision is grand. The idea of this community and where it's going and where we want to cast that vision is so big that it probably scares the crap out of both of us. But what I can tell you about that is that vision is the map. Think of looking on a map. It's got all kinds of what seems like no harrowing events, no challenges. It's just point A to point B. And I'm sure that you've visioned many times in your life for the things that you want to accomplish in the heart. Here with vision comes territory. And that's what we're walking each and every day together, is the territory between arriving at the next juncture of this vision as it unfolds and makes itself known, and arriving with it to be the best we can all be, the best we can be at showing up authentically. And I love that. And that's a promise that I make to you and to this community, to show up authentically, to do the work, because there's plenty of work to be done. There's so many ding, ding, dings, shiny objects that try to call us away from that center point, from that place of being plugged in and knowing that our heart belongs to God. And so what I'd like to say is this idea of Emma Curtis Hopkins in her seminal work, and then I'd like to turn it over to our beautiful Dr. Andrea to bring us to the end of the ceremony in this talk. Emma Curtis Hopkins, in her seminal work in High Mysticism, talks about vision. In fact, most of her work was around vision. And vision is a casting forward and a casting out, not of what we want or goals that we intend to have. It is a receptivity of something greater communicating to us. I choose to call that spirit, infinite intelligence, and I'm sure each of us has our own definition of what that is. So as I read this, there'll be a word called God word. If you prefer Buddha, use Buddha word. If you prefer the Christ, use Christ word. It's entirely up to you. Vision, often God word, and live anew. So shall the body be like a tree planted by the rivers of water, whose leaf faded not. Vision often Godward, so that the affairs also may go well. Gaze often toward the indwelling presence, and all thoughts shall be like morning music. Lift up an inward looking now, and then to this country, whose ether winds even rain forth their healing aura. Our fleet remedials for all the world's unhappiness. My vision of ministry and the vision that I have in this community is that as we turn on our light, we find that special thing that is ours to bring to the world. We have community to support us, and we go forth and make the world anew. Reverend Andrea.
Oh, thank you. I don't need it. Yeah, isn't that nice? No, stay up here. We're together now. So we do have a vision. And part of what Zena was speaking to is that vision. What is our vision? Our vision is to be such a beloved community that is filled with spiritual understanding and compassion and love, that we literally become a light in the forest and a beacon, a raft across troubled waters, a bridge, a lantern of truth, and that anyone and everyone who finds us, whether online or here in person, feels the support of the entire community that has taught itself to release judgment and open hearts and compassion. There are no more front porches where we could gather as neighbors and know one another. The pandemic has taken away even the social interactions that we crafted. But now we're poised on the verge of opening back up, and I believe permanently. And what a perfect time to understand that anything and everything that our community does is done by the effort and the vision and the love of so many. So Zena and I are the ones that sort of stand in the robes, and hopefully not often, and share our knowing of the teaching, as Dr. Kathy said. But we couldn't do anything without you. We couldn't. Through the pandemic, the practitioners, the board of trustees, everyone who lives our center has found ways to reach out to one another, to come, to help, to serve in very different ways that we knew before. And it's kept us together. Not only that, it's grown us. There are many of you joining us who I know you feel like community members, and you know what? You are. It doesn't matter whether you live in North Carolina or Alaska or Southern California or some other country. We welcome you into this sacred collaboration. First, because Zena and I have chosen the depth collaboration with the indwelling spirit. And second, because we've chosen each other to do this work for you. And third, because I know in your own way, you too feel welcomed and part of something much larger than any of us. So thank you for being here. I'm very delighted to welcome you, as you know, and your wonderful wife, Patty. And now we're going to have the band come up as Reverend Zena, you need your mic again, does a prayer for her ministry, for our ministry, and for the center.
I'm so glad she didn't ask me to come up and grab the mic and sing. I would probably have seen everyone run out that door. So just allowing ourselves to ground in spirit. Yeah. That place, that mighty place where the indwelling is there welcoming. I know that indwelling spirit is everywhere present, making beauty out of itself through each and every person here and online, that we are all imbued with a light and a spirit and a soul. And it's in this knowing that I'm so grateful for this community and for the welcoming and for the vision that brought me here. I'm so grateful for this beautiful land that this center sits on and each of the people who have come here, come before us, and those that are yet to arrive. I am so blessed to have Reverend Dr. Asebedo as a mentor, a guide, and a collaborative, just an angel in my path. And it is that idea of being on the path together that I simply bless this community, and I know that we go forth to do great things in the world, that the world is waiting, that all of this that we are discussing and making so is actually the mechanism through collaboration to heal a world that is waiting for each of us to respond. And I'm grateful for that. And so I just simply release this and let it be, because it's already done. Nothing happens without spirit first. And so I've arrived here, you've arrived here, we're all here to do something magnificent. And I am welcoming it, and I am saying yes to it now. And I ask you also to say yes.
Yes.
And so it is.
Wow. So blessed to have you here, Reverend Zena. All right, well, let's sing out into this glorious day. Today and every day I'm gonna dwell upon the good. Today and every day I'm gonna dwell upon the light. Today and every day I'm gonna dwell upon the peace. Today I'm finding gratitude for all that's right. What we dwell upon, we become. What we dwell upon, we become. What we dwell upon, we become. So let's dwell upon the good. Today and every day we're gonna dwell upon the love. Today and every day we're gonna dwell upon the grace. Today and every day I'm gonna dwell upon the joy. Today I'm seeing God in each and every face. What we dwell upon, we become. What we dwell upon, we become. What we dwell upon, we become. So let's dwell upon the good. What we dwell upon, we become. What we dwell upon, we become. What we dwell upon, we become. So let's dwell upon the good. Yeah, let's dwell upon the good.
So you thought you were going to get away without announcements, didn't you? But no, we need to definitely tell you a couple of things. The most exciting of which, after today, is that we are opening in person next Sunday. Yeah, and we're very excited about that. We will, of course, be doing our live stream from now on. So if you can't make it, it's always there. But the 10:30 service will be open in person. I know that I'm a little bit more cautious than some people, and I know that the mask mandate in Washington is stopping on the 12th, but I don't want to stop it just yet. So we're going to keep our masks on through March and then sort of assess. Also, I wanted to remind you that the 13th is our favorite day of the year. It's daylight savings time. We voted for it to go away, but no, it hasn't yet. We also want you to know that the pre-service community room will be open through the 13th, and then bless those practitioners for doing that. I think we'll close that since you can now come in person. We also have today our very last workshop of a 5-workshop series that our practitioners have been offering called The Science of Mind in You. And this one is very special. This is about developing your spiritual toolkit, which I talk a lot about because we need to have things, on us, with us, that we can use in times of difficulty. For example, when war breaks out in a significant way in the world, do we have the spiritual tools to stay grounded, to send compassionate prayers and love to those in the conflict? Do we know, how to stay in the present with all of that? So this workshop starts at noon and will go till 1:30, and it's offered on Zoom. So please avail yourself of this very last one, and thanks to all of the practitioners who made these series happen. Next Sunday, in addition to daylight saving times and opening in person, the men's group and the women's group will be meeting in a hybrid format. The men's group typically meets on the second Sunday of every month, and they'll be meeting at noon. But the women's group often meets the third Sunday of every month, but that's our annual general meeting. And so we've bumped the women up, and so the women will be here in the sanctuary and on Zoom, and the men will be in the classroom and on Zoom. So if you would like to come, we have very special things planned for you, and we'd love you to join us for that. And the annual general meeting, can I ask you a favor? Whether you join by Zoom or you come in person, if you're a member, could you plan to attend? We love to have everyone in our community attend, but the members are the ones that vote in the new board members, and so we want to make sure that we have a quorum of members, which isn't terribly hard to do because you guys seem pretty interested in what's going on here. But it's the 20th of this month, and we'll start at 11:30, so the service will be a little shorter, and we'll go right into our annual general meeting, which usually is less than an hour. I find meetings torturous, don't you? Our stewards, led capably by Karen Delanius and Joanne Ellison, have invited us into a larger organization whose role in our community is beach cleanups. And so once a month, we're going to tell you about the current beach cleanup, where it is, and how you can be a part of it. So this month, it's on Tuesday, March 22nd, from noon to 2 p.m., and it's going to be at the Locust Beach, and you can find the address for that in the announcements on our website, or if you receive constant contact. This day is used in particular to advocate for World Water Day, which is a day when we seek to raise the consciousness of how precious our water supplies are and how much we can protect them by doing very simple things like beach cleanups. So I hope you can join them. And then on the last Sunday of this month, the Air Stewards are presenting something called our Climate Cafe. And this too will be in person and also offered in a hybrid format. What are we doing with this one? We believe here in our tradition that everyone comes into this world with particular gifts that nobody helps us identify necessarily. Maybe a grandmother or two says, you really have a gift for. My people said, you really should smile more, you look better. So I smile a lot. They were right. But the gifts we're talking about are the gifts of your unique offering into the world. And so our Climate Cafe is dedicated to the spiritual artistry of each of you. And so what we're inviting you to do is to bring to the center if you're going to come in person, or bring it during the week if you are going to join us by Zoom, a representation of maybe your blessing for the earth, maybe a representation of what you're doing to help in terms of climate and changing the way we look at things so that we can create not only sustainability, but regenerate the earth. So if you have I know you all have rocks, because every single women's retreat for the altar, about half the people bring rocks. So maybe it's a rock, maybe it's a poem, maybe it's a blessing that you write that very day. You can start bringing those on the 20th, and we'll have an altar set up so that you can place those. And it's really meant to inspire all of us to be more mindful and conscious of really helping There's hope here, and we are it. And then I've been telling you a bunch about Gourmets for Good, and the host forms will be available for filling out on the 20th, the day of the annual general meeting. And so I wanted to get you thinking, if you would like to host a dinner, a picnic, a brunch, a breakfast, a hike, and a brown bag, whatever you got, those forms are there for you on the center website. And you can fill the form out, and we'll figure out dates. And it's an opportunity, as we launch back into in-person community, to remember who we are and to invite other people into our hearts again in person, the way you want. So if you are someone that wants to do an outdoor event, great. If you want people to wear masks, great. If you want proof of vaccination, it's your event. You get to decide. But we'd love you to think about and open to ideas that might be fun to put in practice. And lastly, our practitioner of the day, and also a ministerial student in a recent class of mine and hers, is offering a wonderful historical look at the science of mind and where it came from. Let me see what day. It starts on March 30th, which is a Wednesday. It's Zoom only, and it goes from 6 to 8:30 p.m. And it explores people like Emma Curtis Hopkins, my favorite Ralph Waldo Emerson, Judge Thomas Troward, and the initial ideas and excitement of what created the science mind philosophy. We'd love you to register for Kat's class. All you do is contact the email center. No, it's on the website. Thank you. We changed things. So there's a registration form on our website that you can fill out, and Kat would love to have you as a student. All right, enough, huh? Now let's go ahead and I'm going to do a farewell, and the band has volunteered to play under me a little bit, and I'd invite you to stand. Getting ready for tacos. So, whether you are near or far, a community member identified or soon to be identifying with us, I bless you. I thank you for your presence. I am so grateful for the amazing love that this community spreads far and near, for the love of this place, the grounds, the people, and the teaching. Bless you on your way today. Thank you.